Good Sunday morning to you all. Hope you all are having a great start to your day and getting up and feeling great this morning. Going to give you an update on what potentially could happen weather-wise for your Sunday, May the 15th, halfway through the month and just rocking and rolling through the year so far. There is an enhanced risk that is a level 3 out of 5 for severe weather for portions of the country, including Arkansas, southern Missouri, and other surrounding states, just portions of it. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. And I want to mention, I would say a couple videos ago, I said it was going to slow down. Guys, honestly, it looks like it's going to do the complete opposite. One of the reasons is because the GFS keeps showing this tropical system down here in the western Atlantic. And I really think this is going to be a bigger topic as we get into the next few days. So that is probably going to be a more dominant topic going forward. As we get a little bit later in the week, I'll talk about it even more and more detailed, if you will. But severe weather also looks to be increasing. In fact, Monday, there's now an enhanced risk up for areas of the Northeast. And then there's already areas to watch a little bit later in the week. So I think it's going to be an active week, guys. So stay tuned. I'm going to keep you guys as updated as possible. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. I do 2 videos a day keeping you guys updated. And I really appreciate y'all's support by viewing my content even when things aren't that busy. So if you guys got anything that I can pray about, it's an important part of my channel, please put it in the comments below so I can pray over it, and more importantly, others can pray over it also. I want to mention earlier on in this video, my kids are energized this morning, just woke up on the good side of the bed and they are just screaming. Pretty sure our neighbors can hear them. So if y'all hear any screeches in the background, it's just my kids. Most people who view my stuff know I got kids. So anyways, here you go. You got a pretty large slight risk. That's level 2 out of 5. This includes, all the way from Oklahoma City, basically, all the way into central Indiana. This includes the entire western half of Tennessee and Kentucky, areas of northern Mississippi, almost the entire state of Arkansas, and a large, pretty much over 50% of Missouri, and then portions of Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Then you have the enhanced risk for this portion right here. And this area has seen a lot of crazy weather from winter all the way into severe weather season. And it's still, pretty active times right now for this area of the country, and enhanced risk up. Tornado risk is not that high, a 2% risk of 25 miles in any given location. It's not going to be the main threat today. The biggest threat is going to be damaging winds. You're going to have a 30% risk to see damaging winds, 25 miles, and any given point in the red area right here. So that is going to be the biggest threat with this today. It's going to be a damaging wind threat driven enhanced risk, which means they really drop this enhanced risk because of the risk for damaging winds. It's going to be the highest threat today. There's going to be threat for other things too, like hail. There is also now a hatched risk for hail threat. That means there's also a 10% chance inside this 15% risk for this little black outlined area with the dashes going through it for larger hail exceeding 2 inch in diameter or larger. So it's just something we need to watch out for today. It's going to be an active day across this portion of the country. And let's just go on and jump straight to it. Look at the latest long-range HRRR model, and we'll keep this going in time. Let's make sure this is not going in 2-hour intervals like it likes to do. And really, we're starting off this morning. We got a little bit of convection, some storms, but what we start to watch here is right up here in Missouri. A piece of energy will begin to drop down. The atmosphere down here is destabilizing in Arkansas, western Tennessee, northern Mississippi, just this entire area right here, the Mississippi Valley. This piece of energy will begin to surge south. How put together will it be? I don't think that matters too much. I think even if this is just a kind of a stout line of storms, I think either way, if you get underneath some of the stronger portions of these storms, especially southern Missouri as you're getting into the afternoon hours, damaging winds and even an isolated tornado threat will be a threat today. It's getting kind of discreet in nature, which concerns me for more of a tornado threat maybe earlier in the day in southern Missouri. And this area has a 2% risk of a tornado. So it's just something to watch. I would not be surprised if maybe they put a very small 5% risk of a tornado in this area. So, this might change. The Storm Prediction Center I just showed you, it might change sometime in the coming hours. But damaging wind threat, I think, completely becomes the main threat with this. And as we're getting into the Quad States regions where, southern Illinois, Kentucky, western Tennessee, southeast Missouri, and then northeast Arkansas all meet, I really think a nasty little line of storms will move through later this afternoon, this evening. So if you're in this portion, even watch out Memphis a little bit later into the evening. It doesn't look that bad on the HRRR model, but I do think if you're in any intense areas of these storms, you could have 60 mile per hour winds, which are damaging winds for sure. So this will continue through the overnight hours, starting to get to late evening, well after the sun goes down. And you even watch additional energy that pops up in areas of northern Arkansas and then drifts southeast. So we'll try to figure out what's going to happen with this. So just know if you're in this area of the country, some nasty storms are possible. Let's break down each individual area now. So moving forward, I think there'll be, and obviously we just talked about this, but even outside of this risk area right here, I think you're going to have pop-up showers and storms all in the panhandle of Florida, just your daily summer type patterns where you get pop-up showers and storms. And even in areas, and watch out in the southern Appalachian Mountains, North Georgia, upstate South Carolina, the Piedmont and mountains of North Carolina and Tennessee, and even up into Virginia, some pop-up showers and storms are possible. Some could be quite strong up here closer to northern VA, close to Maryland. Watch out Washington, D.C. a little bit later into the evening hours for sure. But you're going to be dealing with daytime heating. The humidity is building. You're starting to get to that time of the year. So pop-up showers and storms are possible really anywhere in the southeast. They really are today. It's a great day. Like I said, when you start to get into summer, it's always a great time to have that radar scope or Radar Omega, My Radar, whatever radar you want to use. I don't try to say which one's better. All I know is I'm experienced with a radar scope. That's the one I've always used. Up here in the Northeast, as far as storms today, a little bit of rain y'all are dealing with this morning. And I think as you get into the afternoon hours, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, interior areas of the Northeast will definitely experience some showers and storms today, and some could be strong to severe. So watch out. Produce some heavy rain, but no, mass severe weather outbreak today. Now tomorrow we got to watch out for some nasty weather. The tornado threat's actually a little bit higher tomorrow than it is for today, but anywhere in the interior Northeast. It's hard to break down each individual state, but I really think the only areas that may not see as much rain today is maybe deep in southern areas of New England, but and maybe the I-95 corridor. I think if y'all guys see any rain, it'll be later this evening, but I see the pop-up showers and storms and very warm weather up here in the Midwest and the north central U.S. and the Great Lakes region. Quiet day pretty much. In Iowa, you folks could deal with a little bit some shower activity into the late morning and early afternoon hours, and then maybe some showers and maybe a storm up here in Indiana, and maybe might sneak into southern areas of Michigan, maybe just some showers up here in northern Michigan a little bit later this afternoon and evening, but not really a whole lot going on. It's a pretty quiet weather day up here. Down here in the south central U.S., of course, you put your eyes right here. It goes over what we just talked about with those, nasty storms that could potentially fire up this afternoon. And then we watch out for this little cluster of storms here in eastern Oklahoma for sure. This could be severe a little bit later this evening. This will be a threat. Watch out Tulsa, probably just east of Oklahoma City. A little bit later this afternoon, well, really later this evening, this little cluster of storms has actually trended west. It was showing going through Arkansas last night, but now it's trended a little bit west. So we got to watch out for these late night boomers right here in eastern Oklahoma for sure. As far as the temperatures for the central and eastern U.S., very warm day. The humidity's starting to build. Widespread 80s. It stays a little bit cooler today in the Northeast, 60s and 70s and hot for highs, as opposed to 80s to close to 90 degrees and 70s yesterday for the Northeast. So you guys are a little bit cooler today with a little bit more cloud and rain cooled air. But as soon as you get into Virginia, West Virginia, point south, the Ohio Valley will be warm, widespread 80s all the way up into Detroit. 70s for Wisconsin, northern Michigan, 70s and 60s, all the way into the north central U.S. So a nice day up here for sure. But you get into the deep south and the mid south, 80s and close to 90 degrees with a little bit of humidity out there. So there's going to be some juice to the air, and that's what's going to help aid in firing up these showers and storms a little bit later this afternoon for sure. My folks out west, the only thing to really talk about excuse me, is a system starting to move on shore. This is more of a northern system, so really it's only impacting Seattle and areas of the valley areas and basically Washington State in general. Areas of far northwest areas of Oregon could see a little bit of shower activity a little bit later this afternoon, but outside of that, you guys a little bit later this evening into the overnight hours could see some storm activity, some heavier rain in northern Idaho and then areas of far northwestern Montana, but we'll see how that works out. Warmer than average temperatures today, dominating, probably 90% of the western U.S. The desert Southwest starting to get into the mid 100s, so it's starting to get very hot, almost 110 degrees. I'm sure in some areas, Phoenix will, get close to 100, if not hit it today. And in the valleys areas are starting to warm up well above average temperatures for sure. Even all the way up to Montana, 60s and 70s for highs. It's going to be very warm today for sure. Even the plains of Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, 60s, 70s, 80s, when you go a little bit further south. A very warm day today across the west. That's all I got, guys. Stay tuned tonight. We're going to talk a good bit about the tropics and get a little bit more detail because I'm not concerned, but I'm very interested and intrigued in if the GFS ends up being correct with the tropical activity. God bless all y'all. Have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to y'all this evening.